Nephew got a pretty awesome setup because of his mom's boyfriend. I posted this in the Pro Revenge community but was told it belonged here instead. I'm only active in like to communities, so knowing what falls where confuses me sometimes. Haha. This happened a week ago, but my nephew is still losing his mind over it and told me I should post it here for everyone to enjoy as well. So here we go. I should preface by saying I only see my nephew every couple months due to him being at his dad's, or me not being able to come up when she has him. I 33M. Went to visit my sister 38F and nephew 13M for 2 weeks. My nephew and I are really big gamers, though we are into different games. He loves playing Fortnite with me while I enjoy things like Auto, Warframe, etc. We were playing Fortnite and he was laughing hysterically because I can't build quickly at all. Just can't do it no matter how much he tries to help and teach me. Uncle, hit this button, then that over and over to build a ramp. My sister's boyfriend 39M. Been together like 1 year, comes in and not yells but raises his voice about my nephew using his controller. Mind you, it's normally okay, but randomly it's not today. Snatches the controller from him and the game pretty much ends because we can't play together. Here's the thing about me, I'm not a petty person, but the look in my nephew's eyes hit me hard. I am not a physical altercation person, but one that will use my resources to get even. I tell my sister I'm taking the nephew for an hour to go out. We go to GameStop and I buy 2 controllers, then head back. We start playing and the boyfriend throws another fit. I just show him the receipt and tell him they are my controllers, not his. The man-child boyfriend then says well it's his PS4. We leave again to head to GameStop. I buy him a new PS4 and we head back. Set it up and start playing. Man-child once again has a fit, receipts shown, and he says well it's his TV and games. I am annoyed beyond belief at this point because it's not that serious. I don't want to spend this kind of money, but this is my only nephew. And this man is being childish over this. I pull my sister aside and tell her my nephew and I will be gone early tomorrow for half the day. She says it's fine, as I knew she would. Next morning we go to GameStop and I get him a ton of games. I say ton, but it was like 10 games. 2 extra controllers, a VR thing for it, and then got him a 40-inch TV from Walmart and a TV stand. Get it all back to my sister's house and set it up in the den. Boyfriend arrives later in the day and tries to start shit, but my lovely sister points out I bought it all and that she pays the internet so he can't say anything about it anymore. Y'all, this man-child spent 4 hours sitting in the corner of the living room fuming, like full-on scowl for 4 hours. I was loving it since I could see him from where I was sitting. Nephew was oblivious. Sister had to keep hiding her smirk. He was mad as hell that his girlfriend's brother spent all this money just to be able to game with his nephew. My sister just saw it as he was being childish and I was making sure my nephew and I could enjoy something we liked together. We spent all day playing Fortnite and having an awesome time. I have never felt so petty, but fuck's sake it felt so good. No, I still can't build to save my life. Yes, my sister can build better than I can, and also yes, she did game with us while he fumed. She told me if I ever have kids that she will buy mine the latest and greatest game system when it's time. We also try to play together every other night now since my nephew now has no one to tell him he can't use HIS PlayStation or HIS controllers.tl. Dr. Sister's boyfriend decided to be a petty man-child and I went harder. Nephew has a new game setup that he loves. My sister owes me a big one. Questions I was asked in the other community. My sister normally has a boyfriend like this for 1 to 2 years, then finds another one. It's complicated. It's one of those I can fix him, lost puppy syndrome things. I didn't plan to go as far as I did with what I bought, so that's why I didn't get a PS5 in the beginning, and everything was pre-owned from GameStop and the TV was a TCL, so only $160. A lot of the accessories were me feeding off my nephew. Excitement at the store. Top commenters said, if someone treated my child like that I wouldn't be dating him, period. Op replied, I have tried so hard to get her to understand that someone who doesn't respect your child isn't worth it, but it's always I can fix him. He will be amazing when I'm done, kind of thing. She doesn't understand that things like that don't change with people. Small things can, but doing that to a kid never changes. You either are able to talk to and treat kids in the right way or you can't. I've told her that he wants her, not both of them. She is a package deal. No ifs, ands, or buts, and she needs to pick someone who is kid ready at the start and not have to be taught or have the basics at least. Subscribe now. Before we move on to the next story. This is from entitled PO Gentle Parenting is sad to watch as a retail worker. Second edit. Again, I'm sorry I called it gentle parenting. I'm not a parent and I don't interact with children often. I don't look up the latest parenting terms because I don't plan on having kids. It's just a venting stress relief post, very standard setup. I work in a small clothing retail store in a mall. I am a supervisor and I was the only one at the till. Lady had some standard returns and purchase. Whatever. Her child, I would guess maybe 5 or 6 years old, was playing with a bracelet set. While we did our transaction, we finished up. Lady said okay, give the bracelet to the lady, let's go. Child actually did give it back. I said thank you. They went to leave. Mom leaves. Child comes running back into my store to look for the bracelet. Mom comes back to look for her. Child ends up crying about how she wants the bracelet. Whatever, I figure the parent is gonna handle it, none of my business. Until the kid comes running behind me and the tills, trying to find the bracelet. Mom is just standing on the other side looking exasperated and saying in that gentle parenting voice, "Come on, we have to go." Kid trying to dig through my stuff bags, clothes, just whatever is behind the tills. I say to the mom, hey, if you want to come back here and grab her, that's fine. She doesn't reply. At that point I had to set in. There is sharp pins for security tags and stuff, and I had more customers to help. So as the kid was running to hide from mom, I stuck my arm out to block her. Holy crap, you'd think I broke her arm. She screamed so loud. Like that toddler ear-piercing wail. Where is her mom? Just standing there, now looking mad at me, and said, well, that was embarrassing, and just glared at me. Kid then bolted around my store again and had another screaming, crying fit on the floor. Again, mom just stood there. I'm not a parent. And I do understand the whole let kids have the tantrum idea. But I was under the impression you removed them from the upsetting situation? The joy of retail is though that I had to email my district manager the whole story. Just in case lady tries to say I hurt her child. Edit, apologies for calling it gentle parenting. I'm not parent, so I don't know the terms other than what friends have told me. Third edit update. I got a slap on the wrist from my DM. Because I shouldn't ever touch a customer's child. Next time I'll let them play in the bin of sharp pins. Fourth edit update. Hopefully, last update, lol. Turns out my DM more meant that she doesn't want me, other employees, to intervene with children. Because she would rather the company get sued rather than us personally. If that makes sense. In the much more interesting update, when I went to work a different day, the same mom and child were in the store. And yet again, mom is on the other end of the store while this kid is trying to pull on our mannequins. I just looked at my manager and said dibs out. She went over and told this kid to please not touch our mannequins. The mom then threw a shirt on the till and said, well, I didn't see anything today anyways. My manager is actually concerned this lady is trying to find a lawsuit. So she might get banned if she returns. Definitely my first viral Reddit post. Some of the comments made me lose faith in people, but that's how it goes. Thank you to people sympathizing with my suffering of working with the public. Top commenter said, that's not gentle parenting, that's no parenting. Another one said so many people confuse the two. To me, gentle parenting means no hitting, not yelling, no harsh insults. It doesn't mean never making your child unhappy. Children need to learn how to deal with life's little disappointments. Not always getting what they want, not being able to do whatever they want. Definitely no parenting. Gentle parenting doesn't mean no consequences. It means you don't physically hurt your kid to make them comply. My sister does it, and this would never fly with her. On the next story. Like this video. AITA for asking my sister-in-law what she's doing with her degree after she implied my university wasn't prestigious enough. Last night my husband, our 2-year-old daughter, and I were at my in-laws. My sister-in-law and her husband and kids were there too. The topic of one of their cousins' kids going to university came up. We talked about how going to a good university helps in networking. I mentioned how I had gotten my first business analyst job because my interviewer had also gone to WOFT. At this point my SIL chimed in with WOFT Mississauga, right? So not the actual one? My husband said politely that it's the same thing and she just shrugged. I asked her where she went. She said she went to WOFT and added St. George campus. I then asked how she's using her degree. I knew she's ASAHM, so that's why I'm here. That might have been an AH thing to say. She said she chose to be ASAHM mom and kind of stopped talking to me. My husband thinks I was out of line. Admittedly, I didn't think it through when I said it, just said what came to my mind. He says her question was tactless but not malicious. I said it was rude and that's what mattered. And the premise of it was just wrong. But I have been reconsidering it. She has texted him about how out of line I was. He's told her it was a misunderstanding between everyone and to let it go. T-Day? Update. I was heartened by all the NTA votes. I read a lot of the comments and really appreciated those saying I wasn't the instigator. So I was in the clear. As I read more comments and the way my SIL was being mentioned, it made me feel bad. I don't blame the comments, they were only going by the context I had provided. But I took the fact that my SIL being criticized heavily was making me uneasy as a cue to mend the relationship. She isn't a bad person, her and I aren't BFFs but have always been cordial to each other. Then Ta verdict had given me the peace of mind that my reply wasn't totally uncalled for. So I asked my husband if she was still messaging him. He said she'd just sent a final wall of text of how hurt she was and then gone quiet. I asked him what he thought. He said he'd told her that her remark was thoughtless, but told me that there's levels to this. My reply really cut her. I told him I was willing to apologize if she did to. Last night I got a call from her. She said that she had realized that her comment about UTM had come across as insulting, and that was not her intention. She said she was really proud of me and my career and the way I juggled it with being a mother, and apologized for her remark. I thanked her and said my comment about her degree was out of line. That she's an awesome mother and my remark had zero thought behind it. It was just me saying whatever I could in the moment. She broke down a bit and that honestly made me feel terrible. I teared up too and we just agreed to put this behind us. Like I mentioned in my original post, my reply was instinctive. I don't think she's wasting her degree and I hope her comment had equally no thought behind it. But I'm glad I patched it up with her. Top commenter NTA, she had something to say about the campus you went to and was 100% being rude. Because she felt like hers was better. And your question was valid. What is she doing with her degree? She sounds like one of those people who like to talk about everyone, but can't stand when someone gives it back.
Support me by following and subscribing. Thanks.